amazing. Technology is great. Welcome, everybody, to episode 250 of the You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We are your hosts, Adam, Amy, and Russell Gibson. The big 250.
Hooray! That's kind of cool.
It's pretty cool. It's a hell of a milestone. I feel like it's that and then 500. Do you celebrate the other ones, or
I think so.
the hundreds at least?
I think if we get to 300...
350 is definitely not. I feel like 300, 400...
Yeah, from here on, it's like 50s, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, you're right.
This is the only 50 milestone, yeah.
Yeah.
And the rest are definitely centuries.
Yeah,
which is one for the next milestone's only 50 episodes away. But
yeah,
it's been a ride. It's been what, 4 years? Because we did a lot of bonus episodes. If you do the week calculation, it should be 5. But we've done effectively a year's worth of content over the 4 years to squeeze an extra 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say it like that. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. And I mean, we couldn't have done all of that if it wasn't for all the support we have from our sponsors, from our listeners.
Yeah, definitely listeners.
For all the people that sort of make this an actual podcast rather than just you and I having a chitty chat every Sunday.
Talking to ourselves. Yeah,
pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
All the DMs and people commenting on posts, and it's amazing. We're very grateful, I think. And I think we should shout out to our current sponsors, Bangman, USSCA, and of course, Neon. And let's go back and look at some of the people who've also sponsored us from along the way. And the first one I'm actually going to shout out the most is Hobby Hangout, because
Hobby Hangout's been with us from sort of day dot. They've had put a lot of faith in us.
And I would actually say they were the ones that gave me that sort of initial boost up and really believed in us. And then
100%.
That kind of gave me that feeling of like, oh, maybe we're onto something. And so, huge shout out to the team at Hobby Hangout. We're very grateful. GTI, the Melbourne Cartel, and Darren, we still stop by and chat with Darren. Of course, Slambox, EJ Cards, and last but not least, Fast Break Trading Codes.
Yep. Yes. So a lot of sponsors over the years, but and huge thank you for every bit of support that we've received. But yes, thank you to the listeners. I think this show wouldn't be what it is without the listeners getting the feedback. The regular guys in the chat, you know who you are.
That's right, Anthony Mill.
Yes, yeah. We hear from Joe Fu, we hear from Al all the time, even though I mute the chat quite frequently. Yeah, actually.
Probably shouldn't tell Al that, but that's okay.
No, Al knows.
Anyway, and thanks to you, Ad. I mean, it's been great. Like I always look forward to my Sundays. Yeah.
Every Sunday night.
This is our Sundays, isn't it?
Yeah, it's literally been Sunday nights for 4 years. So, and it's around about this time that we launched 4 years ago. So, early December. It's been a ride, and so thank you to everybody. The listener coverage, I guess, has grown over the years. So thank you to everybody that listens on Central Coast Radio.
Yeah.
Thank you to all the listeners around the world that have found us on YouTube.
Yep.
And last but not least, all of the people that just download us every week on their podcast apps.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's our bread and butter at the end of the day, is our podcast listeners.
It's 100%. And big update that we've been terrible in spruiking, I guess, is for those listeners that do want to support the show, there is a link that Russell will be putting into the show notes.
It's already there.
It'll be there. Yeah,
it's in all the podcast descriptions.
Let's label it the link, buy us a coffee, because it is. It's literally a monthly subscription to effectively buy us a coffee, isn't it?
That's it.
It's $5 a month. Buy one of us a coffee. We can alternate who gets the coffee.
I've called it "Get a Shout Out" in the upcoming episode.
I like it. Yeah. And then, of course, all our subscribers we can definitely shout out.
But I can change it to "Buy Me a Coffee" if that's what you want.
Yeah. And then you can put in the comments when you subscribe who you're actually buying a coffee for.
Sorry, oh, me or you? Okay.
Yeah. Tell us who gets the coffee.
Rough. Okay.
And then we can have a tally of who's going to have more coffee. I don't know. We'll make a game of it.
I'm not sure I'm on board with this, actually.
Maybe not.
Hang on a minute. Yeah.
Maybe not. And I'll have too much coffee or too little.
That's right.
This could get awkward. This could get awkward really fast. What's on the show?
Let's talk about the show this week. We're going to talk about Giannis and the trade rumor that came out about that. It's not really news, but this is where my life sort of sits at the moment. This was probably the most exciting thing that I saw this week. We're going to talk about the reverse Dutch auction that Tops and Fanatics have done in the last week. And since I put that into the run sheet, the actual result is out. So it's all...
Oh, nice.
The stock's been exhausted. It's all been sold out. We're going to talk about that. We found a really good post on Sports Cards Addicts called The Hobby is Buyer Beware.
Yeah.
Talk about that. We're going to talk about Player of the Week. We're going to talk about Trae Young, Tops cards numbered to 0, Anthony Davis, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Gem Rate check-in, which we haven't done for a while, WNBA, some Cade, and then just a whole bunch of other stuff. Maybe we'll get to it. Maybe we won't. But without further ado, let's talk about the Giannis trade rumor. And this is coming directly from ESPN and, of course, Shams. He's the ultimate newsbreaker at the moment. Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agent have started conversations with the Bucks about Giannis's future and discussing whether his best fit is staying or elsewhere. Sources tell Shams a resolution expected in the coming weeks. And then, coincidentally, depending on how tightly your tinfoil hat is currently applied, a day after this came out, he left the court with a very, in my opinion, soft-looking injury.
It's the Achilles precursor injury, though. It's a calf strain.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. The pre-Achilles tear.
Yep.
I personally think this is the pre-trade injury, so he's on the shelf.
They can load manage him now because you can use the calf strain as we don't want him tearing an Achilles, so he's being rested for longer, so then you can orchestrate that trade.
Waiting for all this to come out. So, look, where are you at with this? Because I love this sort of stuff. To me, this is just easily the number one story of the week.
Well,
it's the most exciting thing.
It'll be nice to see when the Lakers finally orchestrate how they're going to organize the trade. They're not giving up Austin. They're not going to give up Austin. They can't give their big two in Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. Milwaukee's welcome to have LeBron James for the rest of this year, I think, is my view. Yeah. And yeah, I think the Lakers will get it done.
Okay. So you believe that's it? He's just going to the Lakers?
No. I'm just buying all the press that everybody's... Like, if he demands a trade to LA, the Bucks will work out a way to get it done. I don't see how this works.
Yeah. So if you click on the link in the run sheet that says you can't comp this trade machine ideas, I did a whole bunch of trade machines. So these are actually trades that will go through.
Okay.
And amazingly, I read your mind and I knew that you were going to say the Lakers in there.
You knew I was going to do it.
I couldn't work out a trade that didn't have Austin Reeves, LeBron, or Luka.
Interesting.
So you have to give up one of the three of them, and I thought realistically Austin Reeves would be the guy who they gave up. So Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber,
100%,
and Adu would be the trade package on that. I'm assuming the Lakers would have to give them some type of trade equity, moving forward. The Oklahoma City is the funnest one for two reasons, because you can do a Chet Holmgren trade, or you can do a non-Chet Holmgren trade, and remembering all the draft assets that they've currently got in hand too. So if you go with Chet, Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren, and Wiggins, and that salary matches up perfectly to like $1 million difference. Plus, I think less draft capital on that one.
Yep.
This one here, you need a lot more draft capital to go with it, but it still works. Hartenstein, Caruso, and Williams. And I probably like this one the best because in that way it doesn't evaporate their front court. They've still got two pieces in their front court together. The more fun one would be like you keep Hartenstein and Giannis and then you trade away Chet. But I think that's probably like the least popular one. But I think in terms of building a team, like just say you're the Thunder and you go, oh, actually we think Chet has won a championship. That's awesome. But he's an injury risk for us. Let's move him on when his value's high. Like, that's kind of a fun one. The Raptors was another one that came up. So Scotty Barnes, Ochai Agbaji, and Grady Dick would go there.
Okay.
And so that one, I'm kind of like, how much stock do the Bucks put into the Raptors into Scotty Barnes. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what that.
I
really
just don't
changes
think.
on that.
I just don't think you get it. You know what
You
I
don't
mean?
like
I
that
just
one?
nah.
Yep.
I can't see it happening.
Giannis to the Knicks. Now, this can't happen.
Ooh.
Now, I really, really, really struggle with this one. And the reason why you can't do it currently in the trade machine is because you can't do it until the 15th of December
Okay.
because of a previous trade that they did.
Yep.
So it's OG Anunoby and Josh Hart. And that works for two reasons. Because in terms of them breaking apart their roster, Giannis just sort of slots straight into that power forward spot.
Yep. I like it.
But you'd also have to give up some picks. So they've got a really juicy pick coming in from Washington this year, which is protected 1 to 8.
Yep.
A 2026 first round and a future swap. So I sort of put in a fair bit of draft capital into that one.
I think 2.5 picks plus those players is probably still not enough for Giannis, but they might throw an extra one in.
Yeah, but if you think about how much the Lakers got for Luka, that's more than
they got
the
Anthony
Mavericks
Davis
got.
as well, like a washed up Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis is worth a couple of picks. I don't know.
Yeah. This next one's super fun for me. This is the Spurs. So Devin Vassell, Johnson, Stefan Castle, and you could put Castle or Harper in there. I personally think Castle's going to get traded. Julian Champagne, that goes to $57 million in salary. So Giannis' salary is 54, and of course they've got some draft equity to put into that. But I don't think you'd need heaps to go in with that because of Castle or Harper, whatever.
Why isn't Fox part of it? Why wouldn't Fox be the trade bait?
I think that they can afford to have all three of them.
Okay.
And so I think that's why. But also too,
yeah, okay.
That's also probably my bias.
Yeah.
It's probably just my bias, but I personally think he wouldn't be traded away.
Yeah. I think if you give up Fox and then you give up a less number of players, then just give draft capital to try and get Giannis on there. That way it solves the Castle, Harper, Fox conundrum.
Yeah.
And you've got time, you've got the seniority. I think Castle's shown that he's sort of taken enough of a jump to say that he's not inexperienced enough. Like he's actually in year 3, he's doing all right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the Spurs are the most exciting prospect for this happening. But I also don't know. I can't imagine the Spurs making one of those all-in type plays.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think Spurs are definitely there. I've got this funny feeling that I think Thunder is such a dark horse here.
You reckon they're going to make a move? I think
they've got so many assets, man. It's
so.
ridiculous.
My counter to this is the Thunder get worse if they get Giannis.
Maybe.
I think that the momentum they've got rolling as a cohesive unit will be destroyed if they trade for Giannis. That means other players that are in that group will fear that they're trade bait.
I agree with that to some degree, and I think the feeling or my feeling in that space is around chemistry. Is that you wouldn't want to break up that OKC team due to chemistry, but has there ever been a rumor that Giannis is a bad chemistry guy? Because if that's not the case, why can't you put him into a good chemistry situation and then that chemistry still keeps going, but you've improved your talent?
I just think that it creates apprehension amongst the roster. People thinking they've got a safe spot, and they're going, actually, no. If a superstar comes on the market, we're gone.
Yeah, sure.
So, and that's where the chemistry issue is. But I do think the Thunder are a dark horse. They've got. If it was only about picks and not matching salaries, the Thunder are in front for decades. It's ridiculous right now.
But they've got salary filler and talent and
they've got
picks.
both. They've got the complete package. They can offer it, but they're the one team I don't think need to.
Yeah, sure.
Which is hilarious. Yeah,
yeah, totally.
The one team that we talked about this, how they've broken the NBA.
Literally,
they could do it. They don't need to do it because they're dominating the league right now.
I chucked a post up on Sports Cards Addict, so thanks again to admin of that page. Matt Teese has put up a trade with the Philadelphia 76ers, which I didn't think about this one. Paul George, McCain, a 2027 second, a 28 first from the Clippers, a 2028 second, a 2030 first, and a 2032 first. I actually don't mind that at all.
Okay.
And I think the 76ers would be into something like that. Absolutely. Alvis Secombe said Cat plus picks for the Knicks. And actually, that's absolutely correct. Their salaries are almost dollar for dollar the same. But the reason why I didn't generate that trade is because that then means that they'll have to start either Giannis at center or who's their big man coming off their bench? Mitchell
Yeah, but
Robinson,
that's not.
who's been injury prone. And I just think that I don't
And
know.
Cat's playing well. Nah,
Yeah.
you can't upset that. Cat's playing too well to worry about that. I
I don't
wouldn't.
know. It's more about their sort of their roster moving forward as opposed to Cat for me, if that makes
Yeah,
sense. Like,
100%.
yeah. NCM, let's see really quickly what they've put up, but then we can go for a break. Matt Sherrington, I believe it when it's official. If it does happen, actually, that's kind of true too, isn't it? We live in this very like fake news sort of world, don't we? Zach Maltese, Warriors, Kaminga, Pods, and Jimmy Buckets, and 3 firsts.
Yeah,
I think that doesn't work because Butler is almost paid as much as what Giannis is, so there'd have to be another piece maybe coming across from the Bucks or another team in that trade. Harley Taylor Lloyd, Chet Wallace, and 4 first rounders. That's similar to what I was putting together before. Ashton Hattie Morton, Portland for Scoot, Denny, and Grant. That's kind of juicy actually because Denny's been playing really well. Scoot's a little bit of a dark horse.
yeah,
Grant would be your salary cap filler, but I'm assuming you would need a lot of picks in that sort of space then too. Yeah.
yeah. There's
What
the Atlanta trade that they've talked about. Trey Porzingis. There's a few things like that. I know.
Yeah, so I didn't even put that one together because in my mind, Trey's trade value at the moment is so negative.
Low. Yeah,
I don't think the Bucks would ever touch him at all. Like I tried to kind of make these trades. Yeah, they're crazy and they're out there, but
realistic.
it's at least 5% realistic. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah. Alrighty, let's go to a break ad. We're already at that time already. USSportsCardsAustralia.com.au. Please go there for all of your sports and trading card needs. Now, last week on the show, I said that we had a member who submitted a 400 card sub and they saved 50 cents a card. That was absolutely incorrect. I publicly apologize for that. I got confused. So ComCA, which is Ross's service, is 11 cents per card. So that person then saved around the $40 mark. ComC, which is in America, is 50 cents US per card.
Okay.
So that's where I got my head all messed up. So I do apologize. However, that is still a fantastic saving. It's very competitive to put your cards up on there. And Ross actually had some news this week. He had some really positive news in terms of sales this week. He had a member that's taken out so far $590 in sales. That's our RL Sports Cards. So congratulations to them for consigning their cards with Ross and then Ross moving them on for him. There was also a really interesting Instagrammer who I'm currently watching at the moment, and he's talking about his whole process. He bought a machine that scans the cards and uploads them. Just FYI, guys, that's what Ross will do for you. So if you're looking at all these videos and you're like, I'm kind of interested in selling all my cards away, I want to get rid of them, you don't have to do that. Send them to Ross, pay him the 10 cents per card, and it's done for you. He cross-lists them across all the different platforms. It's all taken care of, done for you. So again, that's at USSportsCardsAustralia.com.au. Adam, we're back. How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
All right. Now, this reverse Dutch auction I wanted to talk to you about. I'm going to read through a fair bit of information here. And the reason I wanted to do this is because this is different to their previous Dutch auction. So the reverse Dutch auction starts at a defined ceiling price and drops down at scheduled interviews. So, for example, the product we're talking about here is the Topps Chrome product.
Yep.
And basically, it's their first off-the-line product. It comes with 2 extra parallels in it. There's a silver to 8 and a tricolor to 12.
Okay.
And it started off at 3.5 thousand. So basically how it works is it goes down at intervals and then people buy their allocation at that particular price. The difference between the previous Dutch auctions that they did was people would put in their purchase prices and whatever the lowest price was at the end when all the allocations sold out, that was the price that everybody got. So previously you could put in a buy, say $1,000, and if the last price was 500, everybody would be serviced that price of 500.
500.
Whereas this one, what happened was some people bought it at 3,500, some people bought it at 2,000, some people bought it at 1,800, and then when it bottomed out at 1,750, that was the lowest price, and then all of the stock was sold out. So look, I've got a lot of different sort of feelings around this in terms of why this is a good thing, why it's a bad thing.
Mm, mm.
I personally think that overall it's a very, very good thing. And it does a lot in terms of giving availability to product to everybody. So, and what I mean by that is, I think some of the problem that Panini had previously was that all of their distribution was sort of done by, well, Panini themselves, but also other companies. And so if
Okay.
you didn't have accounts with Panini or you didn't have an account with someone else,
You couldn't.
you couldn't buy
You
it,
just cut out.
directly from the source. And so then
Yeah.
you had to go to like a reseller like David Adams or Blowout Cards or, whoever
Yeah,
your
yeah.
local
Whatever
card shop.
distribution,
Yeah.
whichever distribution arm you go
Yeah.
to.
So
Yeah,
for
yeah, for sure.
example, today the example would be Neon Cards or US Sports Cards Australia. That would be the
Yeah, yeah.
example on that. And
Yep.
so I think what is really good in my mind about this is that everyone has an opportunity to, stay up late if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, like what we are.
Mm-hmm.
Go online and buy some cards. I think that's a very, very good thing. The other thing about that too is that it really tests the market in terms of how strongly a product sells, what price
Yeah.
that the product sells out. And I think what it takes out of too is that it takes out that sort of flipper mentality. So let's be honest. Panini had a reasonable idea of what a product should sell for, but they didn't know the actual price. So they would put it up for, say, $300. But then flippers would then sell it for $500. So then that's $200 that Panini have missed out on. Or it's
Yeah. True. True.
$200 that maybe someone else could have had in their pocket. And I really do, especially after reading the manifesto, I think what Fanatics is trying to do here is really get as much money out of it as they can.
Yep.
Directly, interact with consumers, but also sort of eliminate as much as they can that sort of dirty, if you want to use that word, that sort of flipping, that resale market. And I think, if I'm being honest with you, I do find that stuff a little bit ugly at the moment. So
I think it's toxic right now. Like I think it's got to a point of toxicity. Yeah.
Well, I think not so much in basketball because the bottom has not fallen out, but there's enough product out there that people aren't doing that sort of dirty stuff. But what I was going to specifically say was like at the moment it's Pokemon.
Pokemon
like,
is actually
people,
in a terrible
actually
place
getting
right now.
Assaulted. There's people being stabbed. There's incidences of that.
Yeah.
And then I think also too the other relevant one to mention here is that. So I was just in the States recently. I had a really, really hard time buying sealed product. I only found 2 shops that had sealed product on hand. And actually that's by design because they're not selling it in person anymore. It's all online ad.
Yeah, that's
like their staff are getting abused. They're getting heckled and
But you see what it's like in
and
Australia. They're all behind the counter now. They're not on the shelf. The product is behind like a service counter. And it's limited to one per
I've got no problem with that, mate, because I can also tell you what will happen, and we've seen this online too. People will steal it and people will open it in the shop and fish out the good cards, right?
Yeah, like it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think it's terrible, yeah.
So where are you at with reverse Dutch auctions? Like, what do you think about all this, mate?
I think it's an interesting type of auctions. But it goes back to the supply-demand element of the hobby that we all like. Like, you get the product for what you're prepared to pay for it.
Yeah, sure.
Done. Like, it takes out the argy-bargy of supply and demand. Set the price. It's set by the market, which is fine.
Yeah, and pay what you're happy to pay. I think that's the
correct.
Other thing too, right?
Yeah. Not going, oh, great, I got Stitch, I have to pay this. Well, no, you set your price, and if you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. Tick.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty straightforward. I like it. I think it's probably not the ultimate way to do it, but I think it's created a level of fairness that, to give people an opportunity to buy in.
So there was a couple of big
players
that were talking about this on Instagram. So Sports Cards Nonsense have already done a post about this, so it's possible you've already heard all this from them.
Yeah.
Blaise also did I actually thought his post was like more interesting because the Sports Cards Nonsense stuff was good, but Blaise was good because he was talking about how he went on and bought multiple cases, and he was sort of like emphasizing that sort of buying power that he's got. And I thought that was actually really quite interesting.
Okay.
The other thing too that he broke down, this is the next part I want to talk to you about, was the parallels that's in there.
Yeah.
And so the reason why I think this product is going to be so valuable, and also I think this will be very flippable in the future for a number of reasons, but it's the first product. It's that sort of that first off the line type product that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's also got a silver number to 8.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I want to talk to you about this because we value silvers so much. Do you know what? He also said this. It's not called silvers.
They're
so Blair said this.
refractors.
It's called refractors now. So guys, I'm very sorry. I'm going to keep referring them to silvers. At one point, the penny will drop with me, but just forgive me. I'm talking about refractors here.
Yeah.
So we value refractors or silvers so much within the hobby. Like, the silver rookie card is the rookie card that we all want to collect.
Yeah, 100%.
But now they've also got a silver or a refractor that's numbered to 8. And I think that is so brilliant. Like, it is so smart to do that. Like, can you imagine
it's going
the
to
collectability of a perfect silver card, but does not have the population bloat that we all fear with every other, Luka Doncic, Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, and even like Tyrese Halliburton.
It's going to be more valuable than the number to 10 gold, though. Like,
well, I mean, that's part of a conversation too. Like, I mean, Topps is going to change up all their golds, and so we need to get our heads around that. But I think what you're trying to say, like the number to 10, yeah?
Yeah.
I think so. I think you're
the
right.
numbering to 8, that makes it incredibly limited.
Yeah. And it's a silver, so I think people are going to froth over these so hard, man.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see the resale on those. Like, if you get a Cooper flag number to 8, or you get...
Yeah, you're right.
The Dylan Harper number to 8, I think that would be just a huge, huge card. The tricolor to 12, look, until I see the pattern design on it, I'm not going to pass comment on that. But
depends on the colors, really.
Yeah, I sometimes find those tricolor ones a bit like whatever, though.
Yeah, true. Yeah, like it depends how they're done.
Yeah.
Hopefully Topps has learned a lesson or two.
Final thoughts on this before we move on to the next piece?
I'm just looking forward to Chrome launching.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Alrighty. This is from Julian. Excuse my pronunciation, Julian Carnus. This is from Sports Cards Addicts Australia. I know this hobby is buyer beware, but I've got to admit I've been quietly frustrated constantly seeing single card options pop up all over the groups with starting bids at $20 for basic silver inserts that are only worth $5. I get it. The tricks that get good lighting makes those silver rainbows look magical, and suddenly some people are like a moth to the flame, but it feels so wrong.
Yeah.
No hate to anyone doing it, each their own. I get it that it's two people making a deal voluntarily, but it still feels a little rough for the newer collectors who might not know the difference and how common these cards actually are. I just wish there was a way to educate some of these buyers. I guess if they see this post, it might help. Just wanted to share the thought. Adam, what is your response to this?
All right. Well, I've opened the post. I've seen there's a few comments there, so I'm not going to even entertain the comments yet. I won't hit the button. I think it's interesting, and I think there's some merit in what he's saying.
For sure.
Once again, it's the supply-demand element of the hobby, and it's the glitz and the glamour. I wouldn't be worried so much about people entering the hobby that are doing their research, the ones that are new to the hobby, because people don't just blindly buy stuff, and if they do blindly buy stuff and get ripped, then that's a learning experience that teaches them, right?
If it's a $20 lesson, it's probably the cheapest lesson.
Correct. If they're like, oh man, I could have picked that up for $5. Oh no.
Yeah.
I know it's. I mean, I have a markup on my eBay cards because there's it's you rather people offer, so you put it a little bit higher. I don't know about Facebook posts doing it, but it's like it's an opportunistic time of the year at the moment.
Yeah,
I think through November, December, early December anyway, you've got people looking through marketplaces and whatnot for presents for partners, for loved ones, for kids. And the budget might be, I've got $50 to spend. They collect trading cards. That's their favorite player. I'm spending $20. Yeah, cool. The person spends $20 and they get a gift and they find out it's only worth $5. But it's a pretty thoughtful gift still. Like, it's that supply-demand one once again. Because if those $5 cards are everywhere, they're going to see it when they search for the card, right? I don't know. I feel like it's, you go onto eBay and you'll see a card, 99 cents. You'll also see the same card for $25. And very randomly, sporadically, you see it for $100. The $100 one's been there for years and years and years and years, right? Eventually, some person who just searches poorly, is in a rush, clicks on the $100 one, good on the seller, whatever, you haven't done your homework, that's the price you pay. You walk into the shop and that's the ticket on it, buy it. If you think it's overpriced, look it up. We're in the age of AI. AI can normally scour these things and tell you what the price is. Hell, eBay will tell you what the average rate of a card is worth these days. Anyway, I hope I haven't covered a bunch of the comments. That's all. You're on mute, I think.
We probably don't need to cover the comments just for the fact that I think you covered pretty much all of it, to be honest. But I mean, my take on this is that it really is just an education part.
Yeah.
And I think that's what his major sort of complaint is. At the end of the day, you're kind of preying on people that don't know. So for people out there, the tools that are freely available is 130 Point.
Mm-hmm.
Tools that are partly free and partly paid for is Card Ladder.
Mm-hmm. And
currently, Card Ladder is my preferred stop. I just personally find that just better for the way that I search for cards. But, you know, it's each their own.
Yeah.
eBay Sold is also a really good resource.
eBay's a great resource to check history and stuff, yeah.
Emphasize my point there, it's eBay Sold, it's not eBay asking prices.
eBay shield listings
is absolutely terrible. Like, so yeah, don't use eBay asking prices for comps, guys.
Yeah, well, and can I just follow that up with a brief point? Maybe this is frustration from Julian based on people putting, and I'll call it the retail price, because eBay is the retail price. The buy it now price on eBay is if you don't want to go to the hassle of searching and negotiating and bidding, you can buy it for this. But on the marketplace where there's no fees and things, people are putting those retail prices and there are no fees. So why aren't you putting it for the cheaper price, which is the whole upsell of the marketplace in the first place?
I wonder a little bit too, and you touched on this a little bit, but I'll just flesh this out a bit more. I think that on different platforms, people will behave differently. So for example, you've already illustrated the eBay behavior that goes on.
Yeah.
Marketplace is just it's a jungle out there. Be careful out there.
It's a zoo.
But I think when you're on, say, Sports Cards Addicts or you're on NCM, I think the expectation is that we're all group members. We should take care of each other instead of try and F each other a little bit. So I wonder if that's also like part of his frustration where he comes onto these legitimate pages and be like, come on, guys, we actually should be like looking out for each other here. And I think in terms of like pricing, like just say it's a $10 insert, I'm actually okay with that. I kind of think, look, it's overpriced, but once you get to $10, more than $10, okay, that's where I think you've got a problem. Someone said to me a really long time ago, don't fuss over 10%. So if you're negotiating with somebody and you're within 10%, just even if it's a bit more than what you're hoping for, just accept it. So, and I think when you're talking about a $2 card, so really that takes a $2 card to $2.20. So when you're doing in that sort of percentage rule, you know, that does really put you out. Like if it's, you know, a $5 cards for $20. Actually, that's a large percentage when you say it like that. So I kind of get where he's coming from on that.
I agree to an extent, and I don't think it's the best practice. I think there are ethical things with it. However, we'll go back to the fundamental philosophy of the hobby, and this is a supply-demand market. A card is only worth what someone else is prepared to pay for it. And if someone thinks they're prepared to pay $20 for it,
yeah, sure. But I think he's like, yeah, sure. I mean, I did heaps of stuff when I got back into the hobby where I was like, just buying stuff. I was excited and I was just like, bang, 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 you know.
Yeah,
so
but I'll pay for a card if I want it. I'll pay overs for it because I want the card.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm like, I don't want to go to 7 shows to find a card. If I see a card and go, oh my God, that's there, but it's $20 more than what I'm prepared to pay for it, I'll pay it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have one crack at the seller to try and talk it down. And if they say no, I'm like, okay, here you go, whatever. Yeah. If I want the card, because that's a supply-demand thing. If I'm not that fussed in collecting it, I'll get it another time. I'll say, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. So it's I mean, that might have just saved a partner from getting her husband's Christmas gift, like completing the thing, going, tick, it's all done now, and I found it on Marketplace. Sure, I paid $20 for it. My husband's still going to love the card.
Yeah.
And think, oh my God, she got ripped off, but that's so adorable that she thought of me.
Yep. Neon Trading Cards, thank you so much for your ongoing love and support. Go to neontradingcards.com. There you'll find breaks for soccer, NBA, MLB, F1, AFL, WWE, Marvel. Of course, the lads are on Whatnot. They are a partner with Tops and Fanatics to break all of their product onto Whatnot. They are also one of 3 breakers to be allowed to do repacks in Australia. They also have a reward system and a sealed boxes segment. Also, guys, check out their MLB breaks this week. MLB Chrome Update. It is one of the biggest baseball releases of the year, chasing the rookie debut patch autographs. Get onto neontradingcards.com to buy up your baseball spots to chase those big rookie debut patch autographs. Thank you so much to Neon Cards for your ongoing love and support. Adam, are you feeling refreshed as we go into the second half?
I'm very, very refreshed. Yeah.
Great.
I'm ready for the second half.
Let's talk about NBA Players of the Week. Luka Doncic from the West and Jalen Brunson of the East. I'll let you wax lyrical about Luka, and while you're doing that, I'll find some comps on Jalen Brunson.
Look.
Tell us about your boy. Come on.
12 months ago, I think it's safe to say that I was not the biggest Luka Doncic fan. Some would even say that I would rag on Luka
constantly
a little too much. In fact, he was like in my crosshairs for the ultimate overrated player.
What's the worst thing that you ever said about Luka, that he was the most overrated player in the league?
I don't think he's been fairly rated by the collectors. I was actually critical of collectors, not Luka. But anyway, I was.
Yeah.
They're paying the future prices on him to a guy that hasn't won. To date, he still hasn't won, and I don't like that because now he plays for my team. True. I want him to win. I want him to win the MVP. I want him to win the championship. He still hasn't done those things yet. However, I'm watching this man make magic in the city of Los Angeles, and I think it's a very deserving Player of the Week award. I think Luka has brought a lot of chemistry that was lacking in LA. For better use of a term, like watching him and Austin Reeves. We were talking off air about the I'll call it the joke post because a bunch of people believed it, and I thought that it had some traction to it, that Luka had just named his kid after Austin Reeves because of the bond they'd formed.
It's so easy to get
Luka's partner didn't have a son. She had a daughter, so Luka did not name his daughter after Austin Reeves. Anyway, the child's name hasn't been announced as yet. But that's
what about Jane?
Jane Austen. That's a deep cut. Yeah. That would be a deep cut. Very deep cut. But I don't know.
Depends how well read you are.
This is true. But I just think Luka's done amazing things this year. Hopefully he doesn't take too much time off and isn't ineligible for awards, because at this point, I think there should be a lot of concerns from the NBA about the All-Star weekend, because the top 4 players in the world are currently Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, SGA, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. All 4 of those are playing for the world team, not the US team.
Yeah, 100%.
So...
And by the way, that actually makes me want to watch that game more. I really want to see the US team turn up and play hard.
Well, there are 2 US teams, so they're going to split their resources again, which is even funnier. Who do you reckon gets that extra spot on the world team? Giddey? I don't think so, but because of the point guard and shooting.
This is a segment we could do next week, to be honest. I feel like we could actually do a deep dive into this.
Start planning. Anyway, Luka Doncic, player of the week, a very, very, very deserving winner, has been putting up amazing numbers.
Yeah.
And the Lakers have been getting some serious wins with him at the helm.
Yep. My only thing I'll add to that is what a heist that the Lakers did to the Mavs. You can't go past that. Jalen Brunson, player of the week. I'm not a huge Jalen Brunson fan, but at the same time, I understand why people love him. 28 points a game, 4.5 assists, 3 rebounds on 40% from the field. Looking at his prices, population on this is 629. Last sold for 298. If you look at his graph from the last 2 years, he's been very consistently up and down. And so if you want to look at a volatile asset, come no further than Jalen Brunson. I mean, for me, the more interesting thing is when you look at the all-time sales on this guy. So at one point, he sold for $15, and his all-time high was, what are we looking at here? Nearly $450. So that's kind of a fun one to look at. I think for me, the kind of the fun question now is buy, hold, or sell it. Basically, he's trading at $300
at the moment. $300. That's an interesting bar to be setting.
I think if you get him for $250 or below, I think that's a really fun sort of thing. But for me, anything over that, I'm a bit like...
I'm not buying. Yeah, I'm definitely not buying him at that.
I think for me, that's more of like, it would have been awesome if you picked him up for $100 and then you flipped it for $300. I think for me, that
what if you picked it up? What if you picked up the Nebula 101 for like $300 and flipped it for $100,000? That
would be even more fun. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alrighty, that's our Player of the Week segment. I don't think we need to crap on that about too much longer because we're going to talk about something that's far more juicy, and that is a story that came out recently highlighting that the Atlanta Hawks are far better off without Trae Young. He's also going to be out for at least another 2 weeks with a knee injury. So that means that the current lineup, who's currently on a winning streak, can continue on
their winning ways.
So I'm all about this. I love when teams put together pieces and then they just form this chemistry and everything works together. Jalen Johnson's playing really well.
Yeah.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker is on fire at the moment. So, I think this is really fun. Do you have any crazy trade ideas where Trae Young could or would end up?
I've got the Milwaukee. That's it.
Yeah. I don't think that would happen, but
I just don't think I don't think Trae's hot commodity at the moment. What are they going to do? Trade one bad asset for another and trade him with Ja Morant?
Thanks a lot. You stole my... I was literally about to say that. That actually makes sense to me. Like, just give two dudes a fresh start.
Yeah, okay.
Let them go. Move on. Salaries are kind of like... you better make it work.
Do you reckon Ja would gel in Atlanta or he'd just implode?
I've got really no idea with this kid, but what we do need to do is just really for 2 seconds is talk about his pricing, because Trae Young used to be a hobby darling. There was rumors around that there was a group overseas propping up all of his sales with shield bidding, trying to protect the investments that they'd made for a very long time. I can only describe that, if that was true, as an absolute failure of a system to prop up somebody, because he's currently trading at $86 for a silver PSA 10 with a hefty population of 2,379. So it's safe to say that our friend Trae Young has fallen out of love. If you look at the last 12 months, he's down 30%. The last 2 years, he's down 46%.
Can I just say, on January 1st, 2021, his card sold for $3,600?
Yeah. And do we need to go back and say the C word of what time that was?
Yeah, that was the mask wearing scary times where
C time.
Yeah. C time that Rudy. That's when Rudy Gobert ruined basketball. Was it Rudy Gobert? Is he the first one that started spreading COVID? Anyway,
I was actually making jokes with my parents. They come over for lunch today. What's worse? Which word is worse, the C word or COVID?
Did they correct you and go, COVID is a C word? There's a 4-letter C word and a 5-letter C word. Which one's worse?
I personally think COVID is worse.
It's fair. COVID is pretty bad.
At least you can be funny about the other word,
It's true. The other word doesn't lock you down for almost a year. Anyway.
That's all right. That's exactly right. Alrighty, let's do this one quick because I hate this so much. So I want to gloss over this, but I also want to make fun of Topps about it.
Let's do it.
Topps cards numbered to 0. I really hope no one falls for this.
I love this. I
Frozen
love
fractors.
this. This is flavoursome.
This is so stupid. I can't put words to this. They're going to be numbered to -5, -4, -3, -2, and -1. Does that mean that there's minus populate on the population report? Like,
yes.
Come on.
They're Sub-Zero. It's because they're frozen.
They look stupid.
They're ice cold.
I've seen some of these cards in like the unlicensed product, and they look dumb then. They still look dumb now. I really hope that these cards just sell for like $2 on the resale market. I hope that everyone hates them and that they pull them out of product.
I have a feeling that won't happen.
Do you think this is collectible?
No. Like it depends. If it actually had a cool looking, if it was a cool looking hologram, maybe.
So what they do is it's like a negative.
Yeah. I know.
I feel like we have to explain this to people at home because it's actually possible some people out there don't know what a negative is. So in the old days, there was cameras and film, and
they're like black and white version. This? It's like a black and white photo.
It's the negative of it. That's what it actually is.
But it's not. The Lakers isn't transposed. Like LeBron's still. The LeBron
if it's similar to the unlicensed when you get them in your hand, I think this is like trick photography or something.
Okay, because it looks like it's grayscaled, but instead of black, it's blue because it's ice, right? I don't know. Like
maybe they're going to be different. Yeah.
Let's hope it's high quality, because if they're low numbered.
All right, look, guys. I feel like Adam and I are quite far apart on this. So, guys, if you are listening, please send us a DM. Which side of the fence are you on?
Opposite sides of the thermometer.
Are you pro
frozen
the
cards?
Negative cards, or are you against them?
Frozen fractors.
Frozen fractors, yeah.
The fractors.
Bangman.
Fractor.
Yeah.
There we go.
This ad is brought to you by the Bangman, ripping NBA cases weekly with fast weekly shipping straight to your door. The group is absolutely on fire right now. They recently pulled the Paulo Banchero Immaculate Logoman patch autograph 1 of 1, which sold the very next day for 60,000 Australian dollars. If you want in on the action, head to Facebook groups and search the Bangman. Join the hype. Join the hits, join the Bangman. The other thing that Amir is currently cooking up at the moment is a 1 of 1 bounty. So each break, if a 1 of 1's not hit, the bounty increases by $50. Once it gets to $1,000, that's where it peaks out. Then the 1 of 1 gets hit. You also get $1,000 cold hard cash into your sweaty little pocket, so you can go out and buy either more Bangman breaks or a nice little card off eBay.
Yes.
Thank you so much to Amir and Team Bangman. Alrighty, Adam, we're back.
We are back.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. We're ready for the final quarter. I'm not sitting on 8 points and hoping to keep my streak alive.
I mean, we can talk about that really quickly. So LeBron finally has been less than double digits for the first time in 18 years?
Yes. 18 years. Yeah, 2007 or something ridiculous like that.
A punter put down $15,000 to win. Not very much money.
Well, he didn't win because he didn't get the 10
That's
points.
Right. He was negative 15,000 on that bet.
Wow.
Again, just reinforces why I don't bet anymore. Speaking of people who've been kicked to the curb by LeBron James, Anthony Davis, BGS 9.5, recently sold for $19,520. Population on this is numbered to 3. This card is numbered to 10. And the population on this card is 3. I think this is really, really interesting because traditionally Anthony Davis has been a non-hobby factor.
Not a hobby darling?
Absolutely not. Despite him being the number 1 overall pick, despite him winning a championship, despite him having all-world talent, despite him being traded for arguably one of the best players in the league, that still didn't increase his hobby value. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and talk about this card in terms of, yes, it's Anthony Davis, but I think what really people are buying here is a 2012 Prism Gold. And I think we need to rubber stamp this and just put this out there officially. This is a collectible set, and this particular card is insanely valuable. And moving forward, this $20,000 price tag is going to look like a drop in the bucket. Honestly, I think some of these cards.
I think the set is. I still reckon putting 15 grand on LeBron to get more than 10 points is worth more than this. If I had 20 grand to spend, I'd put it on LeBron to get 10 points. And I've lost it, but whatever.
Yeah, I
don't trust Anthony Davis in the hobby, but I hear what you're saying.
But I don't think this is about
PMGs
Anthony
of
Davis.
nobodies. Yeah. PMGs of nobodies are worth money. This set is collectible because it's the first year Prism.
Yeah. But I also think, in particular, too, these golds are very collectible.
100%.
I think we talk about this from time to time. What cards should we be buying and putting away for the long term? And we do the cliche. We do the kabooms. We do the downtowns. We do the blank slates. But
we do the low hanging fruit.
We have to put these into the list now because, and again, this is something else we could further research and look into. Like, what are some of the other comps on these golds? Because look, I think my sort of takeaway advice on this, and if we're trying to capture like a 1 minute, headline from this show, this is it. Put these cards away.
2012 Prism. 2012.
Do not sell them low. Yeah.
So it's 2012 Prism Gold, not just the base cards, not the silvers. Well, silvers are actually worth a bit as well, but I think the gold cards hold a special place in history.
I think the other parallels are a separate conversation again, but I don't think what you said is wrong, by the way. I think there is some merit to that. I think that you should be very careful selling 2012 Prism.
Yeah.
But I think in particular, just, don't do anything silly. Consider these cards to be highly collectible.
I think gold prisms in general are a sought after commodity.
And I think the market is like caught up on that, and people are starting to realize how rare and collectible and
I think the other thing when we've talked about pop counts of silver, and I know 2012 is a unique set, especially without the rookie logos and a few other bits and pieces, but in general, Prism, you do have the silver Prism, which is a hot commodity, right? Which is what everybody buys, but the number to 10 is so rare. Picking up a number to 10, like a gold Prism of anybody, should be
and then also in that condition,
higher bit of regard, especially rookie cards. Yeah.
Alrighty, next thing on the list is the MVP ladder as we currently speak. Nikola Jokic is at 1, SGA is at 2, Luka's at 3, Giannis at 4, Cade Cunningham at 5. So last week we spoke about Cade. Today we've spoken about Giannis already. Luka we've chatted about today. So that leaves Jokic and SGA. I've looked up a lot of Jokic in the last week, so actually I want to talk about SGA. So let's do a quick check-in on SGA because we probably don't talk enough about this guy considering he's basically dominating the league at the moment. Population on this is 712. It last sold for $1,300 The all-time high on this is $1,500 not that long ago at all.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because in the last 12 months, we talk about missing the train sometimes. I think I can say the royal we here. I feel like we dropped the ball on this one, didn't we?
Yeah. Even
we were like, oh, this is too high. It's too high at 300, 400, 500.
Even this is more than it sold during C season.
I think we just have to start calling it C
through the C word.
Yeah, what a banger. I mean, look, so the fun question now is where is this going to end at?
I don't know where the hype train stops, but I think if OKC become more human looking and more mortal and defeatable, then this will be reflected. I think the juggernaut at the moment that is the Oklahoma City Thunder, once that entity is more beatable and comes down to the playing field, I think SGA's price stops. But
damn years, man.
It could be 10 years. It could be 6 weeks. Do you know what I mean? It's basketball. It's a crazy game.
Yeah, it's a crazy world, 100%. All right. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think the silver is overpriced because a pink pulsar just sold very, very recently in August of this year for $3,900.
Okay.
Hypothetically, if I had $3,900, I would rather that than the silver every single day of the week. Number to 42, population of 12. Done.
Interesting.
Yeah. So silver's too high.
Yeah. I'd also like the fast break blue, which is a very nice card, numbered to 175.
Is it also a color match by any chance?
Very much so, even if he is in a Clippers uniform.
Close enough. I get
it's the same. It's the OKC uniforms blue as well, right? So that PSA 10 recently sold for $2,350.
So that's crazier again.
On November 28th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a color match. Like it's actually like a color match card. That's crazy. So maybe the silver is way, way, way overrated. White Sparkle. Oh no, the White Sparkle went for 19 grand. Okay.
Yeah. I think it is. I think that's a bit high when you comp it out to those other two.
Yeah. But it's that's bizarre.
Chris Paul was sent home by the Clippers. This one for me is kind of, I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, it's my shade and Freud's kind of like getting in my way at the moment. He's a bit of a prickly pear. A lot of footage has surfaced out about this, and I think this actually says a lot about the world we live in at the moment. Like, somehow there is footage of him in practice yelling out instructions to the players, and then the coaching staff then having to say, like, don't listen to Chris, you should be listening to us. And that footage is out there. Wow. There was another one when he's on the bench telling the players to switch when Jeff Van Gundy told them to not switch. And apparently that was the straw that broke the camel's back. So they called him in, said, look, you've gone too far. You've overstepped. Yeah, wild world. Maybe another team is going to bring him in. There's rumors around that. Spurs, Lakers, Thunder have also said they would bring him in.
Don't think the Lakers will bring him. I just don't think they clear up a roster spot to have someone that's just as old as LeBron.
Yeah, I think he's washed at this point too. I think if you did bring him in, you would need a very, very particular reason to bring him in.
I feel like this time round, if he goes to the Lakers veto that.
Yeah. Yeah. Not the commissioner.
Correct.
2005 Topps Chrome Chris Paul, card number 168, the base PSA 10, population 429, last sold for $125. I think this says so much about Chris Paul and his collectability. People just don't care about this. You can get a 2018 Kaboom PSA 9 that costs $435. So,
yeah,
even his inserts sell more than his rookie card stuff does. He's such a divisive.
He definitely is. Got himself a spot in the hobby, and it's not a positive one.
Yep. Staying in that Kaboom lane, Steph Curry Kaboom 9.5, BGS 9.5, I should say, had an all-time highest public sale for any Curry Kaboom this week, sold for $236,000.
Doing what Curry does best. Dunking the basketball.
That's right. Keeping in mind, this is the number to 10. So this is not
the gold. It's a
the
gold
silver
Kaboom.
Kaboom. This is the the true gold.
This is
Kaboom.
the gold to 10 Kaboom. This is a big boy.
All right, this is a significant sale. This is a lot of money. This is on a big platform on Goldens, who are pro shilling, if I remember from last week when we did some reading into that. What do you think about this? Is this too much? Is this too little? Is this a good buy? Is this future prices, as you would refer to?
$236,000. I think that's future pricing, but I also think there's a lot of press about Steph Curry at the moment because he's now branded with Nike.
A lot.
And I think there's a lot of narrative driving that Steph Curry, and I've been saying this for years. I think we've been in agreement that Steph Curry is that next person on Mount Rushmore. So Like,
Yeah, and it's
he
still got a
impacted a
bit more
generation.
legs
Yeah,
to-
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think it's a future price, but it's not an unreasonable one.
Yeah. I really struggle with stuff like this just for the fact that, how can I say this? It's such a lot of money.
Mm.
And sometimes I do struggle when cards get up this high because it just seems like so much money to me. I find it hard to believe that it could go up or it could go down. And so,
Yeah.
I think my analysis here is going to be pretty limited. But what I did do was look at some of his other prices. So
Yep.
in June 24, a gold to 10 sold for $62,000. A BGS 9.5, obviously that's the one we just spoke about. A raw of this same card sold for $661. That was in 2019, so obviously a long time ago. But that sort of gives
you add a couple of grand to that at least.
Yeah, a bit of an idea of sort of what's been going on with this card. So it's gone up a lot since the last sale in 24. Obviously that's a PSA card, but that actually makes me think then the PSA card would probably sell more than this BGS 9.5 now. So
yeah,
I
true,
mean,
true.
If that owner's still got it, I think you have to get that card back out into the market. Like, to me, that's a sell. Other cards of notable to talk about. A Raw recently sold for $2,550.
Okay.
This is the silver version of this card, not the gold ones now, just for clarification.
Yeah.
A PSA 10 sold for $11K. A BGS 9 sold for $9,000.
Okay.
A PSA 9 sold for 6.6, and a BGS 9 sold for 1.6K. So where I wanted to sort of finish this conversation off was like looking at the different values there and the different grades. I personally think that the BGS 9 at 1.6 thousand is fantastic value. I know that BGS grading is absolutely, down in the dumps at the moment, and it's not really that collectible, but I still think that's a value of a pocket of value. And the PSA 9 is the other one that really caught my attention. I think sometimes within the hobby, PSA 10s are almost like overvalued and over coveted, whereas sliding into a PSA 9 for 6.6K, putting that card away for the long term, like it's a highly collected card. It's a top line player.
Yeah.
A PSA 9 is still a good card. Like I really like that. Like I think that's a really shrewd sort of purchase.
For sure.
Within the sort of the hobby space. So we're going to finish off with a Jordan for this week's show. The Jordan to finish is, this comes from X or Twitter. Oh, do you know what? We've already done this one. We're going to need to edit this out. Sorry, mate.
It's all right. Do it again.
Do you know what we can do? We can finish with a Cade Cunningham.
A Cunningham.
Sorry, I'm going to have to edit all this out. Edit. Alrighty, our card to finish this week is going to be a Cade Cunningham, which I've labeled this as card porn. This is his rookie next day autograph card. A beautiful looking photograph. This is by DM Cardboard on Instagram.
That is a nice card.
Little bit of a smudged autograph on it, but I will still take that. Beautiful autograph on there. He's taken some time to put that on there. That's the 21-22 Donruss next day autograph. What do you reckon that's currently trading for? Let's play a game to finish off this week's show, Ad.
All right.
What do you think the comps are on that? Raw, by the way.
Raw.
Yep.
2.5K. Just a random number. There's an autograph.
I'm going to say 800 Aussie. So we'll need to convert that out. And trying to find one is actually quite difficult. So the last two Raw sales were 721 and 676. That's USD. So that's probably around like 1,200, 1,300.
Okay,
AUD.
so you were probably closer then.
But I was still pretty far away.
You were like $400 off. I was like 1,200 off.
I think you're closer to BGS 9 or PSA 9 sales.
Fair.
Congratulations, Adam, on 250 shows, mate.
Yes.
Hope you've enjoyed the night. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to our friends at Central Coast Radio and, of course, all of our Canadian fans propping up the numbers. We love you.
Yeah, well, people all around the world. Yeah, thank you, Russell, for 250 episodes.
Yeah.
We'll be back for the next lot of milestones, and, by episode 500, maybe we'll be just cheering about all of the MVPs and championships that Luke has won.
I thought you were going to say Shea then.
Nah, he's not. That's not happening. It's just done. He got his
You
one.
think Luke is going to be the Shea killer?
That's it. Luca the Shea Killer. I like it. I like the narrative. I'm getting on board that train. I've drank all the Kool-Aid. Yeah, thank you to everyone. Thanks to all the listeners. Nostalgic trip down memory lane. 250. That's an achievement. So yeah, well done. Well done to us. Thank you to all the listeners, those that have listened from episode 1, and thank you to those that started listening at episode 231. But thanks to everybody. We love doing the show and couldn't do it without you. See you all next week.